All right, everyone. Welcome to Left Hooks Are Free, where right hooks are always half off. My name is Papa Glide, aka Captain Hook. I stole the Lost Boys girl. Now they call me a crook. I'm joined by Husky Messiah. He's
Wow.
back from his vacation. Vacation? Was it
Ooh,
a vacation?
I mean, technically, it may be.
Ooh, calling him out.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. How was it, man?
It was lovely. It was, it wasn't cold. So, that's a big thing for me. This Midwest weather is terrible.
It's not too cold right now, though.
No, it's actually a pleasant, surprise coming back and it not being, less than 20 degrees, like when I left.
The snow is melting. It's actually kind of nice to watch it all kind of go away.
I feel you.
It's all fizzling out. So you went to Vegas, and from what I've been told, you've had a great time, but I haven't heard what kind of nonsense you got into. I think we should start there.
That's where we're starting.
That's where we're starting. I want to hear it.
All right. Run down. Pulled up. Hit a little Top Golf. Always a favorite. Love Top Golf. Did that. Nice quiet day. Travel day.
Pow on a bitch.
See that motherfucking stroke. Got free upgrade at the hotel. Came through and they're like, we're going to upgrade you to a suite. And I was like, it must be because I'm so sweet, baby. But no, I'm just playing. But old boy hit me with the suite. Got that. Next day, got a little fancy with it. Put on that custom tailored suit. Shout out to Logan. I have a tailor now. And went and played bougie at old Mott 32. And I'm name dropping like a motherfucker. Don't even worry about that.
That's fine.
Had a
Keep it up.
42-day aged peckering duck.
What kind of
I don't know what that means.
what kind of hat is that?
What you mean? Oh, no.
What the fuck is you said it's a peckering duck?
I think that's the word, but you know how I am about words, so you can auto check me on that. But
I mean,
duck comes out.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead. You said 42-day aged.
Yeah.
That's I don't even know how you age a duck. I know how you age beef.
And old boy said they inflated. Like, dude came out, gave us a whole little spiel about the duck and how to eat the duck.
I know what you're talking about. I watch food shows sometimes. I don't pay attention to the names. I just drool. I just watch and drool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sought after, especially in Asia. What was the show that I watched? It's like it wasn't. Fuck, that's delicious. That's a good one too. I can't remember what show it was, but I saw them eat that, and they said it was bomb.
Yeah. They inflate it so it's like kind of puffy and the skin's like real crispy, and like they give it to you, and like old boy's very like adamant about how you got to eat this fucking duck. He's like, you're gonna eat that skin plain, put it in your fucking mouth. Now put brown sugar on it. You put that in your fucking mouth, and then you don't eat this one until you ate that one. And then you can eat this one, and then you can eat this one. And then, you know how I am. We're out here just kind of like, I want to try this one, try this. Waiter comes back. He's like, I highly suggest that you eat this before you eat that. I'm like, there's really fucking rules to eating this damn duck.
Yeah. Was it like an Asian restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dude, the level of detail that, I guess does this count as racist if it's a positive thing? The level of detail that I've noticed the Japanese and Chinese put into their foods, like on like a traditional dish level, is insane. Like I'm a huge sushi fan. I like sake. The Asian world, I pretty much love it. Never been there, but their food is awesome. And like I just noticed that. Like from golf clubs to knives to food, the level of detail that they put into it is out of this world.
Oh, big facts. Like even old boy carving the duck, like they bring out some like dude that's got to be 137 years old. At least that's what he looks, and he's like slicing this thing up and laying it all out, and it's just like so much detail in the cutting and like the presentation. It was wild.
You probably use some like fly ass knife too.
Oh yeah, that thing was gleaming. Like he was like cutting this duck, and I was like, it looks like he's not even cutting nothing. It's just
Yeah, that's everything that I've seen. Like I got to go there one day, man. I got to go to Japan or anywhere over there. I would go to Korea. I don't give a damn. Um,
yeah.
I got to see it.
Shout out to the Venetian Resort Hotel, whatever it is, but they had all kinds of like crazy good restaurants in there. I ate there a handful of times, and everything was great.
The Venetians fly though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, Vegas does it right. Vegas is kind of wild, especially now that they have like NFL football team there. Vegas, like, as far as multicultural experiences, Vegas is, as far as the United States goes, prime. Like, obviously, LA. Haven't been to New York, but LA and Vegas have been on my list. Is like if you want good, you want to have a multicultural experience as far as what you're eating, they kill it.
Oh, definitely. Like everything I ate, I didn't have like one meal that wasn't great the whole time I was there.
I didn't. I went and ate sushi at the MGM, and like I thought it was risky. I'm like, man, my location, like this could go all sorts of different ways. And no, it was good. Like I was like, what the fuck? Because usually if you have sushi in Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
like you might as well chalk that up as a loss. Like somebody on Facebook I'm friends with from Arizona, they were asking, they were like, hey, where's a good sushi place in Arizona? I was like, just don't.
Yeah,
You know what I
don't
mean?
waste your time.
Just don't do it. Like it doesn't exist. Just like here, people are like, there's good sushi over at this place. I was like, no, there's not. There's not good sushi there. I promise.
Yeah, I feel like
some stuff you just have to go.
Do you think your level of like quality with sushi is higher than like the common person?
Oh, for sure, man. Like because I experienced going through the levels. You know what I mean? Like the first time I had sushi, I think was when I was on a cruise as a kid, and like I didn't know even that it was sushi. But then I got older. I had it in Louisiana, and I had like the deep fried rolls, and I was like, these are amazing. And then when I got stationed back in California, there was a sushi place, Umi Sushi in Roseville, off of Douglas. I wish I had that dude on Facebook, Sonny and his wife, Tammy. I hope they're still together, but like, that was like my favorite place to go. And I would tell people like, hey, you got to go here. And they would all say, oh, it's great. Like that was a great recommendation. Still love that place. But my dad took me to Sanchigo in Newport Beach.
That sounds fancy.
Dude, they don't even really serve rolls. That's how you know that you're going to have good sushi. If they're like, yeah, we have a California roll for the kids. Kind of like when you go to an Italian restaurant and they like have the chicken fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulties with the non-technical portion of the show. What was I talking about? Sushi? Yeah. So Sanchigo is the creme de la creme. Like if they don't serve rolls at your sushi place, like actual rolls, like you can't find a caterpillar roll, Hello Kitty roll, or any of that bullshit, then you know you've arrived.
Oh, that shit I like.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, man, that shit's good, right? But I'm a huge fan of the fish itself. Like, I like rolls, but I like nigiri, and the level of detail that they put into, like they drape the fish over the damn over the tuff of rice that they do the little finger thing with, right? And then they like gently like scrape a lime or a lemon over it, like just to give it just a smidge of sourness to it. You know what I mean? Like every little thing they care about it. And you just don't get that at, your run-of-the-mill Arizona sushi place. You're not going to get the fish, and you're not going to get the level of detail. It's not going to happen. And if you do, you've arrived at like an oasis. Like
you got to Yeah, you found the diamond in the rough. That's not
Yeah,
normal.
yeah, and it probably like doesn't even make good money. Like that's the crazy thing. Like for instance, here in Indiana, like I've heard of so many good barbecue places. People are like, "Oh, try this place for barbecue. Try this place for barbecue." They all suck at barbecue. Like all trash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we live in such a chain society that like the truly good places don't get any rep
I'm
or
with
they
you on
just
that.
fail. It's kind of wild to me.
Yeah, definitely not in like these parts, like you know what I mean, the Midwest.
No.
Like, nope. No one wants to pay for the high end when they can just like, oh, I got Rooster's chicken over here. That's good chicken. That shit trash. That's what
Yeah.
it actually is. Oh, I love
Right.
that
Like
place. I'm sure you fucking do.
Arizona, their food, like you would think that they would have like prime Mexican food, and like the Mexican food's okay.
It's all
You
right.
would think that they would have, and downtown Phoenix has some good restaurants, right?
Yeah.
But like it's still one of those places where you're like, hey, where can I get good Chinese food? And they're like PF Chang's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And PF Chang's is solid. Like go get PF Chang's. If you like Chinese food, go pay some money and go eat that. But there's levels to this shit. Now the thing that Arizona does do well is bar food.
Oh, that's
Like
a big, big fact
they
right there.
fucking kill bar food.
And they get creative too. Like they concoct all these like little wild ideas.
I've ne- Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, from my experience, has the best bar food I've ever had.
Yeah.
I've never had better bar food.
I've done bar food in a lot of places and oh yeah. Downtown Phoenix, Mill Ave.
Yeah,
I mean, you can throw a rock and hit some good food, you know what I mean?
yeah, it's weird. Like you wouldn't. It shouldn't exist. Like for instance, Palo Alto is like a mecca for you know money and uh, having a good cultural experience and all that. And the people there, they go out to the bars. What do they eat? Well, they eat fucking pizza my heart, which is just greasy pizza. I love pizza my heart, but like that's their bar food. Or
That's
the
it.
Wahlburgers, which is okay burgers. Sorry, Mark. Your
I mean,
burgers are
gotta.
like all right.
They got one of those here in Columbus, right?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Probably.
I'll have to go check that out.
It's it's weird. Like traveling just throughout the United States and the like food has become the thing that I give a shit about. Like if you told me that Nowhere, Oklahoma had the best food on the planet, I'd go to Nowhere, Oklahoma. I'd be like, that's where I want to go.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I'm always down to like to take a travel, take a ride, take a trip to get some good food. If you're like, I want to hit this restaurant, it's an hour this way, but there ain't shit else to do there. I'll be like, well, is the food good? And they're like, oh yeah, then like, let's go.
yeah, it's I don't know if it's just like something that happens to you after you turn 25, but I look when people are like, "Oh, it's so pretty there." It's like, "Well, I've seen the ocean. I've seen mountains. Like I've seen desert. I've seen the swamps. I've seen islands." Like if someone's like, "Hey, you got to go to Hawaii for what?" What
Yeah,
do I have to go to
why?
Hawaii for? Because it's warm and they have a sunny beach. Like I fucking lived in Florida. Like it's warm and sunny there in the summer. Great. Like it's not that big of a deal.
I
You
don't
go
know.
there for people and food to me. That's what I think.
I mean, I feel like
People and
Hawaii
food.
is a little different because there's definitely some like sceneries and like views that you can't get in other places. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but once you've seen it,
Oh yeah, once you see it,
it doesn't hit the same. It's like watching The Hangover the second time. Like it was funny the first time, not anymore. Like the baby named Carlos, who gives a fuck?
or like going to the Grand Canyon. Like the first time I went to the Grand Canyon, joint was wild. Like it's this crazy view. You're taking it in. You know what I mean? Like just you're a little bit overwhelmed by like the magnitude of what it is. And then everyone wants to go to the Grand Canyon. And then rightfully so, you should all want to go to the Grand Canyon one time and see it. You know what I mean?
I've still never
But
seen it.
but as someone that has to keep going with y'all to the Grand Canyon and like taking all the different people to see the Grand Canyon, 2, 3 times in, it's like fuck this hole in the ground. I seen it. I'm tired of driving here.
But how many times were you like dying to take people that have never been to booties in Arizona?
Every time.
Every fucking time.
I'm always
Like
down to
the
eat
Grand
booty.
Canyon gets old, people. Booties is never old. Booties is the best wing place I've ever been to. Phoenix, Arizona. Enjoy yourself. If you arrive, go there.
I'd like to just say that booty in general is my favorite pastime, and I wholeheartedly love eating booties. Do what you want with that.
I would ask you to elaborate for the sake of this show, but like I don't think I'm going to do that.
Sorry, Lisa. I don't think you want to know about that.
Yeah, neither. I don't even want to know about that. I just
You never had booties, wings, and burgers?
I don't think I ever took them there. I don't think I.
Be ashamed of yourself.
You know, the when they visited, it wasn't there. Like I didn't know about it. It took me hanging out with Brian to learn about zips and booties, and there's another one. There's another like hole in the wall bar that starts with a P. I can't remember it, but just crazy
you took
good.
Me to booties, right?
Yep.
Yeah, up in Surprise.
And before that, it was ATL Wings, which is the best wings I had ever had to that point.
Hey, shout out to ATL Wings.
ATL Wings was solid.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was, I was like, oh, best wings on the planet. And Brian, I told him, I was like, dude, have you had ATL Wings? He goes, fuck ATL Wings. I was like, how the hell could you say that? You don't know food, Brian. He's like, you trying to go to Zips? And we went to Zips, and I was like, Zips is the best wings I've ever had. He goes, these wings aren't even that good. You got to try booties. Like,
oh, he's
you
right.
Gotta be kidding.
Nowhere compares to booties. Not even close.
Like, seriously, booties, if you would like to sponsor this show, for real, like, we will send you all the business. This is we love what you guys are doing, and anytime I go back to Arizona, that's the one thing I want to eat.
I love eating on y'all booty.
I can talk about this for hours. What else do we have on the itinerary today? Let's see here. Well, obviously we had the big moment of the fight night. Obviously Derek Lewis knocked Curtis Blades the F out.
Oh, that was wild. I seen Derek Lewis in the airport, by the way.
Yeah, I wanted to hear about that too. That's kind of why I'm going here.
Got you. Fun story, actually. So, day one of vacation, walking to baggage claim, and I had seen like the Reebok bags and like the short bald trainer. I'm like, I feel like I know who this guy is. I've seen this man, right? No big deal. We're walking to baggage claim. He's with this tall, skinny guy, clearly a fighter, clearly a training partner, right? And I see him walk into the UFC guy, and he's holding the sign that says Lewis. And I'm like, oh, shit. Derek Lewis is lurking about these parts. So I'm looking around, and I'm like, and I see him.
My balls was hot.
The black beast himself, fucking Derek Lewis, just walking cool as shit, calm, collected, just headphones on, walking. He's with his little bald homie now, and the tall, skinny white with him. We're walking. She's with me. She's like, you want to go over and ask for a picture? I'm like, no, I'm not really trying to fanboy it out. You know, I'm trying to be cool. I know he's about to fight. This is Wednesday. He's coming in. He's probably, you know what I mean? He's busy. He's caught up. This man's going to fight another man in a steel cage.
Hold on, bro. Let's just, I got to pause you right there. Because as a super fan of UFC, like, that is both, I think that's awesome that you did that. Like, first of all, like, being such a big fan of UFC, you're like, I want this dude to be in his own head. I want him doing his thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna pass up the chance to like have a moment with somebody who like you're a huge fan of, just so that he is like honed for his craft. I mean, that's awesome shit, bro. Fucking
that's what I'm
props to
saying.
you.
Like Derek Lewis for me, that's top 5 right now. He's top 5 dude. I love that dude. I'm all about what he's got going on. So in my mind, it's like, I'm not going to be that guy. This isn't like the outlet for fan like interaction. You know what I mean? Well, here's where it gets kind of funny. She's kind of like pressing me. She's like, go talk to him. Go talk. You want me to go up there? I'll go ask him. I'm like, all right. I was like, you ain't going to go ask him. I was like, no, chill. Fast forward Saturday night, watching the main event come on, right? I'm like, yo, this is the main event. This is my boy in the airport. She goes, that's Derek Lewis? I'm like, yeah. What do you mean? Yeah, that's Derek Lewis. She's like, I thought that skinny white dude was Derek Lewis. I was like, so you're telling me that you was about to run up on the skinny white training partner right in front of Derek Lewis to be like, Mr. Lewis, can I my dude over here wants a photo? I told her, I was like, I would have just walked away. I would have left you standing right there. I'd have been like, I don't know her. I'm so sorry. This lady's been following me around this whole airport.
Putting her rear naked on site. Excuse me, Mr. Lewis.
But I'm sitting there watching the fight, and we're like smacking some Chipotle chips because like the hangover was real at that point. And I'm just over here dipping my chip in that guac.
Tequila and guac.
Tequila and guac, boy. And I just hear, I thought the skinny white dude was Derek Lewis. And I was just like, excuse me?
You got to be kidding me.
That's been so wild, sad.
Though. So you didn't talk to him?
No, not at all. Let that man do his thing.
Man. And that's good on you, man. Kind of like when these dudes are like at these golf tournaments and it's Sunday, Tiger's in his all ready. You got people reaching on him, trying to get him to stop and stuff. It's like that dude's in the zone. Let him work.
What's I mean? Like the ripple effect. Like what happens if I walk over there, I interrupt my man doing his thing, right? And then he doesn't land that uppercut and flatline Curtis Blades. That could have been my fault?
I don't think it goes that far. I mean, that's a little bit much, but still, as somebody who's such a huge fan of athletics and knowing that this dude's not going into a fucking tickling contest. This dude's getting ready to fight. He's been prepping for this for months. He's here to fight. That's not the time. I wouldn't want somebody to talk to me in the airport asking me for autographs and shit.
Well, yeah, there's that great quote. It's like, you don't play fighting. This isn't for play. You're in there. You're fighting another man inside of a fucking cage. I don't care how you want to dress it up and high production value. You still get in there and fighting somebody.
Yeah, and his comments after the fight about hitting the dude extra times when he was on the ground kind of shows you that. It's no, this shit's real, man. He could turn out to be the Undertaker and wake up after all that. I love that he said that, but I hate how pissed off people are. It's becoming this huge thing now. I feel like it's people that don't play sports. I feel like it's people that never played sports as a kid, and all of a sudden, they get out there and they watch these fights, right? Because they're a big deal, and it's did nobody ever tell you play through the whistle? No one ever said that.
Always.
When you're running drills and you're running sprints to sprint through the finish line, right? Why would it be any different in a fight? You go until the whistle blows. You may land another one after the whistle blows. So when Herb's trying to take you off of him, I'm still trying to hit him. And sure, it's martial arts. We want to be respectful. Everyone tries to pull that card, thinking that their sensei is listening to them still. Right? This is not kung fu, Jet Li. This is dudes trying to break each other's face. This is not for children.
Yeah,
you can go play with your swords in your Aikido gym.
Yeah, I was about to say, this isn't Aikido. This is real fucking life. No one's going to jump over for you, Steven, and do a front flip.
Yeah, I can't believe it's getting so much attention. I think Jorge's fight is what really has brought this to most people's attention, because this has been happening for a long time. But since Jorge did the super necessary beatdown of Ben Askren, now it's become a thing that we're all trying to analyze whether it's okay for fighters to hit people after the knockout.
Let's be real. Before that, Ben Askren, Robbie Lawler. Ben Askren was unconscious and kept getting hit, and he came back too. And you know what I mean? And he went on to win that fight when he could have, you know what I mean?
not only that, but like back in the day, there was a lot of fights that should have been called standing up.
Oh yeah,
Like,
facts.
and dudes were just like swinging back and that like not intelligently defending themselves, and then they land one. Like I've seen highlights as real UFC fans. It
Pat
happens
Barry,
all the
Czech
time.
Congo.
Yeah,
Pat
happens
Barry
all the
was
time.
fucking him up, and Czech Congo just up against the cage, threw one, starched him, starched Pat Barry.
Yeah, that's why you play through. Like, always play through.
And
Always play through the whistle.
Can we also touch on the fact that Curtis Blades was talking reckless amounts of shit about Derek Lewis leading into that fight?
Deservingly so, though. Like from where I'm standing right now, Curtis Blades was fucking Derek Lewis up. It was Curtis Blades who made the mistake. That wasn't Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis didn't necessarily. I wouldn't say. I'd say it's 50-50. Derek Lewis won it and Curtis Blades lost it.
I'll give you 50-50 because I get what you're saying. Curtis Blades definitely winning the fight. Hurt Derek Lewis at the end of the first round. Definitely had him hurt. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I look at it like Derek Lewis is waiting for the knee or the uppercut. You know what I mean? He's being patient. Because we've definitely seen Derek Lewis be extremely patient in all his fights.
Almost all of them.
And more so, like, often than we really want, like, when he fought Francis. But, so you got to, I'll take 50-50. You know what I mean? Like, Curtis Blades, yeah, got a little sloppy with the takedown, which is something, that we had talked about before about how, he gets sloppy with the takedown entries.
Right.
Gets a little too comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's big, dude. Like, it's hard to be uncomfortable when you're that big and you're that good at wrestling. Like,
it's hard
you
to
just think you can throw people around.
Yeah,
because you're literally the biggest dude on the planet. Like, there's just not a bigger it's not a bigger
weight class.
Fucking weight class than wow, couldn't come up with that word.
I got you.
There's nobody bigger in the gym than you, and you're the best dude at wrestling in the gym. So, what the hell are you gonna do? You know, you're probably gonna get lazy with your takedowns, especially if you're trying to. Obviously, his striking was good, man. Honestly, I also put a lot of blame on Curtis Blades' coach because, if you're piecing the dude up that bad, you don't stick with the game plan and take him down in the second round. I know your whole goal is to break people with the cardio, and you're going to make Derek Lewis tired and all that. But you were having success in what you were doing. You think he had something weird in his bag that he was doing? You think Derek Lewis was like, all right, we're going to switch this up and we're going to not telegraph this uppercut on this takedown, because he already threw it before? You don't think he's going to still be looking for that?
Well, I think
he's backing up against the cage.
I think the fear is that standing up with Derek Lewis is dangerous to the very last moment of the look at when he fought the big Russian white dude that listens to the thugged out Russian rap music.
Yeah.
10 seconds left?
There's lazy, that, okay, old boy, the Russian, he also fatigued himself trying to tee off on Derek. I don't see Curtis Blades getting to that level of fatigue with the way he was striking. I think he would be all right.
That's a good point. I agree with that.
It just drove me nuts. I'm like, oh, man, because I actually thought Curtis Blades was going to win that fight. I watched Curtis Blades fight. Curtis Blades is a savage, and I know Derek. I bet on Derek Lewis that night, knocking him out, and I did it because it's you're gonna give me plus odds on Derek Lewis. Yeah, I'm gonna take him.
Well, I think it was almost 4-1 if I'm right on that.
Yeah, he's got 20 knockouts, bro.
You got Derek Lewis on anything over 2-1. You take my money.
It's like Francis fighting Stipe. You think I'm not gonna put money on Francis knocking out Stipe? I think Stipe is gonna win, but I'm gonna put money on him getting knocked the fuck out. You got Francis Ngannou, Mr. I knock everybody the fuck out.
And can we put some respect on Derek Lewis's power when we talk about this? Because now that people have had the chance to soak this in, Francis Ngannou didn't want to eat a shot from Derek Lewis in that fight the same way he didn't want to eat one from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's stop pretending Derek Lewis don't hit harder. Well, at least as hard as anybody in that division.
Well, he throws good punches. The only thing wrong with Derek Lewis is his feet suck.
Yeah, he's so stagnant.
He's got the worst
that's a big
feet.
Man.
Well, and he tries to push off and he's slipping and everything else. I'm like, man, bend your freaking knees.
Yeah, that was like kind of out of character for him too, though. Like I've never seen him look like that. I don't want to say sloppy, but like his footwork looked pretty sloppy.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird thing watching heavyweights fight each other because it's like the UFC is still a meat grinder and that you just don't know. Like you can try to call it all you want. Like Stipe is the most skillful fighter outside of John Jones now in the heavyweight division, and you just don't know.
Yeah,
like, that's why it's such a crazy thing. If John Jones runs 3 fights in a row in the heavyweight division, nobody. I don't want to hear a single person say that anybody is better than him ever.
Looking at the way John Jones is putting on muscle and like his progression to becoming like an actual heavyweight, no one has a chance. I don't know. There's nothing.
But they do. That's the crazy thing is they do have a chance because who the hell can take a face shot clean from anybody in the heavyweight division?
I mean, I get your
point. You can't get hit clean.
There's always a puncher's chance when you're talking about fighting, but
more so in the heavyweights. Like
definitely in the heavyweights.
Like how many people at 155 auto starch people? Like almost nobody. Man. Almost nobody. Like Poirier hits like a truck, and everyone talks about how Poirier hits like a truck. Conor still ate a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like I'm not about to sit here and think that outside of the heavyweight division that there's really a weight class. Like we're about to see Izzy get in there, and it's risky for Izzy to go to light heavy, right? Because old boy's got crazy power, right? And he has crazy technique and accuracy and speed, which is essentially power. Right. So light heavyweight kind of pushes there, but like it was crazy that Stipe won seven title fights in a row.
Something like that. Yeah. I don't know if it was in a row. It wasn't in a row.
He was undefeated as a champion until Daniel beat him, right?
Because
I think that was a record.
He's got the most title defenses, but not in a row.
Did he lose? I thought he won it and then just went on a run.
Well, he won it, but he lost to DC and had to get it back.
Right, but before that, that's what I'm saying, man.
Because who did he get? He got the title from Verdum, right?
Well, we're gonna make this shit right now.
Yeah, go and check the stats. But
we're gonna make this shit right.
While you're doing that, let me speak on Mr. Adesanya and Jan Blachowicz, because unpopular opinion. Dropping in 3, 2, 1. I got Jan Blachowicz winning that fight.
You got Jan Blachowicz beating Izzy?
You want to know like what I think the key factor is?
Go ahead.
Body kicks. Wow.
Yeah, I could see that. So yeah, he took it from Verdum.
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he won 3. So I knew it was something crazy.
Like, let's not downtrot that, though. Like, the heavyweight division has always been like, you know what I mean, dog eat dog world.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy that he only has 3 losses.
Yeah, I mean, Stipe is like really that dude.
Stipe is wild, man. So you really think Jan Blachowicz is about to beat Izzy?
Yep, and here, let me tell you why. My pivotal factor in this one, amongst other reasons, is the body kick. For the reason being, Izzy is so good at range, right? Controls the range, seems to always have the range advantage. Let's not pretend like he's not the best striker in the UFC, like all around. However, that middle ground of that body kick, because I don't know if you've looked at the stats, they have a pretty similar leg reach between Izzy and Jan.
Right.
And Jan loves to throw hard and quick because they're not slow. They're quick and they're hard body kicks. Like you've seen him like tear up Dominic Reyes' side with like 2 of them, like instantly red. So my thought here is, yeah, Izzy's going to move around. Jan likes to wait and play the counter puncher and kind of like with these little blitzes. But when he's not little blitzing, what's he doing? Body kicks. He counters with body kicks because he's like, I can slip a jab and kick you in the ribs, even though I can't reach out and touch you like with a punch. You're never fully going to either get your thigh out of the way or you're not going to get your body out the way. And he's extremely good at countering with that body kick as you're trying to evade. And I think that slows down Izzy, who's a smaller guy naturally, smaller trunk more so. Like he's got a thin trunk, you know what I mean? Shoulders are coming in nice, back's coming in nice, thighs are looking right for like a light heavyweight. He's starting to look like an early OSP, Ovin St. Preux.
Right.
That trunk is still a lean man's trunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the weak point. And after he snaps off a few of those, you're going to have a hard time moving. You're going to have a hard time reaching and extending. And I think that levels the playing field, and I think you're going to start getting caught, and that's where Jan's power advantage is like just going to eclipse. You know, because Izzy can't throw 1-for-1 with Jan. That we all know that's not the game plan. It can't be. He's got to pick him apart and eat him from range.
I'm still thinking Izzy by decision.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I still think Izzy by decision in the style that he beat. I love you, Joe Rogan. Yoel Romero.
Shout out to Yoel.
I don't. Izzy. The reason why I think Izzy's going to win is because Izzy doesn't play. Izzy doesn't play the "I'm going to let you counter-strike me" game. He just completely nullifies it. The only thing that I think that could get Izzy out of that is if Izzy is really aggressive, like bad blood aggressive. And
yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't think Jan's pulling that out of him. I don't think I'm Izzy, I'm going dark. I don't think that's coming.
No, that's like the Paulo Costa version is not like we're not going to see that guy with this one.
I would love to, but I don't think we're going to see it. I think the only time we'd see that now is with Jan. And he can't beat Jan like that. You can't make Jan have that much bad blood against you and beat Jan, especially now that he is so damn big. Like, you can't move it to heavy and beat Jan. And if Jan ever decides that he wants to go down to light heavyweight and fight Izzy, there's no way. There's no way. You have pissed the man off too bad, and that dude is irrational, and his mental health is not right. I don't care what he says. I don't care what anybody else says. John Jones will never be right in the head.
That darkness is still in there, and you don't want to be the guy that pulls that out. You know what I mean?
No, because we've seen what happens. We've seen what happens when people like slight him.
Like DC. Like, look at that. What happened to Daniel?
I think of Gustafsson. Gustafsson was my prime example of that when they were like, oh, Gustafsson's the only one to ever like possibly beat Jan. And like it was years of people saying that Alexander was like the only dude who could beat Jan. And I'm just like, he's not happy. He's not going to be happy. It's like Clyde Drexler with Michael Jordan. It's like the disrespect is not between him and Alexander. It's the world thinks Alexander is that dude, and then he just murdered him.
Yeah, that's a good point because like John didn't even like Gustafsson didn't really say that much. He made a couple comments, but it's like you just made John like mad at the whole scenario to where he's like, I'm gonna sleep you now. We can't just beat you now. Now I got to put you out.
The worst thing you can do is make John listen to people talk crap about one fight with you for like 2 years. Like, oh, I've been suspended because of the DC fight, and it's listed as a no contest. DC would have won that fight. DC would have won that fight. Comes back and starches DC. Right? Gustafsson won that fight. It was a close decision. That's a bullshit decision. Like, Gustafsson is the only dude that could beat John. Starches Gustafsson. Like, just don't. That's not the route to ever take with him.
Can we get like a sponsor for John Jones? Can we get like a better cocaine dealer? Like, quit giving him stepped on shit. If you're out there and you got the good shit and you're in the New Mexico area, my boy John Jones needs some good, clean powwow. Nothing with no dick pills, no creatine, no bullshit in it. I need John Jones fighting, and John Jones needs cocaine. So we need to get John Jones clean cocaine.
It is kind of wild.
Stay out of my DMs.
Like, how do these famous people, right? And I'm not savvy, on this stuff, but it just seems crazy to me, right? Kind of like the Bill Burr says it's crazy how many that so many rappers get caught on possession charges for firearms. It's kind of like, how are you this rich and have this big of a problem getting clean shit, like semi-clean? Like we're talking coke here, right? This is a crazy market. It's super illegal. I get it. You're a high-profile guy, but how many dudes do you have around you? Right? I mean, are you doing like what everyone else does in their whole life? And like they're like, oh, I know, I got me a plug, right? Some stupid shit like that. Like Mac Miller. Like Mac Miller parties with everybody all the time. Is weed. I like weed, and then dies of fentanyl.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was because he was getting perks, and he thought they were perks, but they're not, and they're fentanyl. You know what I mean?
Right, but how does that happen? To me, it's like how do you not like have a doctor? Like, I get why Michael Jackson died, right? Like Michael Jackson had his doctor giving him the goods, and his doctor basically just murked him, right?
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
I get that trend. I don't understand if you're that rich how you end up dying from unclean drugs.
Well, I think if you a drug user, someone who's using drugs, especially in doses that heavily, you're probably not making good decisions in life. So I feel like it
Big
just kind of
facts.
goes hand in hand.
Like I said, man, it just like, it's one of those things that baffles me. It's like if you have an at-home chef and you get food poisoning, it's like, how?
You should probably fire your cousin and get you a real professional.
Yeah, it's like hire somebody who's real, or like the people who die in boating accidents. It's like, who did you hire to drive the boat? You know, like if you're rich and you die in a boating accident, you fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't got like a nephew you can pay to sit there and be sober and like, hey, drive the fucking boat. This ain't no hot girl shit. You know what I mean?
Which leads me to Tiger Woods. How in the fuck do you not have somebody to drive you?
Well, first of all,
how?
Shout out to Tiger. He's healthy, doing well. You know what I mean? Man's in good health, nice and safe. I heard that leg's torn up. Had to be like pins and rods and all that.
Yeah.
But at least, because we were all thinking it, and if you weren't thinking it, you're a fucking liar. Was he fucked up? And they said no, he wasn't fucked up. However,
I don't believe it still. I still don't believe it.
Everyone's kind of like, how did you wreck? How did you wreck? How did you wreck? Like in that spot, they're waiting for the black box data to come back with like speed and all that. Boy, might have been dipping.
Well, so I actually was looking at this stuff on the internet, which is where you can find all conspiracies. And somebody was actually going through the Google Maps Street View, somebody who lives there, and he hit the sign that was prior to the intersection where there's a left-hand turn for the other side.
Okay.
And then brushed a tree over the median. From what I was shown on there, so the person was like, I think someone pulled out in front of him, and he fucking swerved to evade it. Now,
wasn't there,
I don't know who posted this, and if you end up being right, I give you fucking mad props for your content. But I'm stealing it, and I'm saying what you told me. So if I'm right, I did this shit and I did all the work, and you guys can all suck my dick, right?
Hey.
This is called research, my friends. You do the work, and then I say it, and then I get credit.
Go ahead and cite them sources.
So if that's because I thought he looked glossy in his interview that he did after that really stupid tournament. Damn, that was weird. That really stupid tournament that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I told you about that where freaking Tony Finau sucked it up and ended up losing me money. And then old boy Burns, who's never won and never will win. You heard it here first. I don't even know his first name. He's never won a PGA Tour event. But if he plays like that, he will never win, ever.
For any of you out there wondering, Papa Glide definitely holds a grudge.
Yep. So I'm going to Colin Coward, Russell Westbrook this dude because he fucked me over. How do you have a 3-stroke lead going into the final and you can't even par out? Like you can't even par out. Seriously, I know it's golf. I know it's hard, but you can't par out. Like,
and calm down. On. Let's get back to Mr. T. Wood.
Tiger could par out.
Allegedly.
Tiger bogeyed on his drive home, but Tiger could par out.
That looks like a double bogey to me, kid.
Snowman to that.
He definitely won OB. We'll say that.
Yeah, but he looked glossy in his interview. Why the hell can't I talk today? Like his eyes, for some reason, like the mug shot. Like if he had the fucked up hair, I would have thought it was the same Tiger Woods.
Oh dang!
Like he looked glossy, man. And I said it to Jacob. I was like, he looks like he's fucked up on them pills. And then 2 days later, he crashes. I'm like, I think he's fucked up on those pills.
Well, here's the thing, too, is like somebody said there was no skid marks, like, or anything. Like he didn't even make an attempt to slow down.
Maybe he just wanted to end it all.
Wow, that got a little dark. I feel like, actually, what car was he in?
In the new Genesis SUV.
Okay, so not... Because if that had been a Porsche, we'd have been game over out here.
Shout out to me knowing all the facts.
All the facts. Fun facts for days. Bah!
Of course, it was the upgraded model and it had the sunroof.
Ooh. Maybe the sun... Oh, maybe this is weather's fault. Maybe the sun glare through the top of the roof blinded him. So when he was on his fancy little app booking like 16 fucking supermodel prostitutes, he's like, oh, I can't see. And then like, you know what I do when I can't see? I'm Tiger Woods. I go for it. So he just popped the gas pedal. I was like, let's get it.
He's in Southern Cal, right?
Sure.
That's where he's at?
Yeah, well, his LA County Sheriff was commenting on everything, so I'm assuming he's in LA.
So you're saying that there was too much sunshine in Southern California? That's where we're at
sunshine. Now? Yeah, it's always the weatherman's fault. I know that for a fact.
It's kind of true, man. It's kind of true. Like, weather's one of those weird things where you get blamed for no reason.
Everyone's quick to be like, oh, the weatherman's wrong. Well, first of all, the weatherman on TV is always wrong because that douchebag probably only has a broadcast degree. He don't actually know what the weather is. And second of all, weather is fucking hard. And it's not an exact science. It's a theory. That's all I have.
I don't even call it that.
I mean,
it's just fucking gambling. I've told everyone from my experience, which is not that long to comparatively to most of our viewers that understand this profession, but I would say that it's just like gambling. Like what I do every single day at work is I make over-unders.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. I make over-unders every single day. Over-unders and spreads. What's the win's going to be?
Spread.
Over-under 34.5. Like, if I could put over-unders on that and then add odds, like an odds maker, and be like, yeah, heavy favorite to be below 34.5 today. You know what I mean? Like, and pilots are like, oh, it's heavy favorite below 34.5, but we really got to go. We'll take those plus 500 odds and we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Man,
we really got to hit this training mission, but old boy's telling us that the parlay for this afternoon.
Exactly. Like, so when they crash, they're like, oh, he fucking lost his risky parlay. Oh, shit. But, yeah, like I said, I've told most people that it's not really so much as a science as it is a game of probabilities and just you basically you have an enhanced knowledge of what the possible outcomes are.
Mm-hmm.
Just like sports betting. Like, you're like, oh, fucking Ben Simmons doesn't shoot threes tonight or any night. So is he going to shoot a three? Probably not. Is he going to make the three? If he does shoot it, even less of a chance of happening. Let's not throw $10 on that, Jacob. I'm still mad at you.
Yeah, fuck you, Jacob. But hey, did you hear what JJ Redick said in that regard?
What did he say?
Well, he's getting an interview, and he didn't blatantly say Ben Simmons, but he heavily referenced him. And then what he did say was, some players aren't so much concerned about winning or losing as much as they are their pregame outfits and who they're hitting up on social media. It's like, whoo, let them fucking know.
JJ Redick said that
about a former teammate.
JJ Redick, I don't like him though.
But why? Because he's white?
No, it's like he talks a lot for someone who's okay. Comparatively, obviously,
you gotta give him more than okay. You know his name. Everyone knows his name.
Where would you put him on the list of point guards? 10th? Would you put him top 10?
Oh, no. Like, let's not be crazy here.
Because there's too many good guards.
I feel like he's a good role player. He's better than okay. He's been like...
Yeah, but like...
He's still a staple in the league. How many years later?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, he's a starter in the NBA, right? I mean...
Facts.
Like, he's obviously fucking good, but there's levels to this shit, like there is with everything else. So, like, it pains me to see, like, JJ Redick talk crap about Ben Simmons. Like, call him lazy. I guess that works. Like, that's basically what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's basically saying he'd be good if he took the game seriously, which is, like I said, I guess that's fair. But
because the question was gauged towards people not working on their shot. You know what I mean?
I guess you need a JJ Redick. I guess a JJ Redick that has that attitude is kind of good to have.
Oh, like yeah.
To keep your people in check. So, all right, I back down from my soapbox on JJ Redick on this one. I still don't like his play style.
I can feel you on that. You don't like his play style, but if I'm putting my team together, I'm putting JJ Redick over Ben Simmons. I don't care. You can at me and light up the inbox, but I'm trying to win. I'm not trying to see what Kendall Kardashian's mouth game looks like.
It's probably bad, but we'll move on from that.
She's too privileged. I feel like it's terrible. She's never had to work for it. But yeah, we can move on.
Let's just move on from that. Sorry to the people in my corner who aren't going to appreciate that, but
if that offends you, definitely don't go check out Not Your Baby Daddy podcast, which should be coming here in the next month or so. Like I said, if you don't enjoy this, don't go watch that. But if you do, hey.
I think this is a good time to plug that we're going to be doing clips for the YouTube. So if you see a title on the clips, if you don't think that sounds like something that you want to hear, just move on. That's what I would do.
Don't be scared of it.
It'll be funny. I still think what you said is funny. So,
I mean, you gotta. Well, here, let me just say this.
So,
you can't knock it until you try it, right? It's kind of like, you can't come. Don't come at me.
Game? Is that what you're saying?
Well, don't come at me telling me that. Well, I'm not gay. I couldn't suck a dick. You ever sucked a dick? You're like, well, no. Well, how do you know you don't like it then? All right, so shut your mouth. Don't knock it till you try it. So if you see a clip,
I still have never come up with a good counter argument to that statement. I've heard that so many times. I have never been able to come up with a good argument.
Hey, don't tell me you don't like sucking dick if you ain't never had dick in your mouth.
I guess the best argument to that would be, well, I also don't think that shit would taste good, but I'm not going to eat shit to figure it out.
Well, I'm fine if you don't think it'll taste good, but don't tell me that it doesn't, because you don't know.
I don't know.
What if you know what I mean? Like, what if I only ate blueberries for 3 months and I dropped that puree? You don't tell me that I might have a little sweet taste to it.
It might, but it's not going to be. It's never going to be tempting. I guess that's what we're really thinking about.
Oh no, like, and don't get me wrong. It's
not going to be tempting.
I ain't trying to eat shit either. But I ain't
for some people who have
good.
legitimately thought about, like, hey, maybe performing fellatio on a man as a man would be like a solid like temptation, right? If like that's what you do, like in your life, you're like maybe, right? Then you have the ability to be tempted enough to do that. So don't knock it until you try it. But for the rest of us who have never thought, maybe that'll be all right. it's probably a safe bet that you won't like it.
Well, yeah, it's just like, leave it over there. Just don't even touch it. Don't be out here like, sucking dick's terrible. You don't know that. Just don't touch it.
It doesn't sound appealing.
I'll take that. I could agree.
Right.
Doesn't sound appealing to me either. Don't get it twisted.
I'm glad that we had this discussion and clear the air of what we both thought on that topic.
There. Well, moving on.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessary, but here we are.
Super necessary.
Left hooks, everyone. Left hooks. This is what this show's all about.
Wow.
Where the fuck were we? Fuck JJ Redick. I'm not talking JJ Redick anymore.
All right, let's go. What's the next? What we got for the next?
Well, I don't know where, but we're talking about players being bitches. Let me tell you about Trevor Bauer. So this is gonna get deep for you sports fans. This is the episode for you, right? We're talking heavy sports this round. I was watching some shit, right? I get recommended shit on YouTube all over the place, and this dude was breaking down Trevor Bauer, right? Who is a pretty damn good fucking pitcher, right? And he was talking about the video was titled "More Effective Than Steroids for a Pitcher." I was like, what could this be, right? Like, that's super catchy, great clickbait. But the content was actually pretty good. So apparently Trevor Bauer has been bitching at these high-level pitchers above him, basically saying that these people have been using like a pine tar or resin substance on their hands and on the ball to increase spin rates, which is illegal, right? But the league has been just turning a blind eye to it. And Trevor Bauer has been calling it out. He's like, these dudes' spin rates, you can look it up on the stats. They've had huge jumps. Like, they never had spin rates like this. Like, you think they're just magically getting more RPMs on the ball? Right? And he did apparently for one game, like 2 seasons ago or whatever, he did it for an inning. And his spin rate shot up by 400 RPMs. And he didn't say that he did or he didn't. But this is the assumption, right?
Allegedly.
And then he recently has had a huge jump just overall. Like, now he just does it all the time. Like, he just joined the dark side, apparently. Right? So I'm watching this video. And basically, Trevor Bauer, the dude's talking about him. He's saying, Trevor Bauer is calling out old boy from the Astros, Garrett Cole, I think. Saying Garrett Cole is like a pussy for doing this pretty much, and he's a cheater, right? And then he joins him. But, like, Garrett Cole was basically saying that he's a crybaby.
Okay.
All right, Trevor Bauer is a crybaby. And I was like, oh, you're just mad that somebody's calling you out for cheating.
Yeah.
Right? So old boy makes this video, right? And he's got like 512,000 views on this video. And Trevor Bauer comments on this video and is saying that this dude is stealing his content. Like, because of the footage on there, like footage of you throwing the baseball, he's saying that he deserves to be cut a check for this video. And I was like, you are a fucking crybaby.
Yeah, that's real petty, dude. Like, grow the fuck up.
Like, for real. Like, you're that worried about it? Like, you're a real fucking crybaby for that. Like, if somebody does that to us, yeah. Like, that shit makes me mad. Like, you're gonna clown on a video. I'm like, it wouldn't even let me comment on it.
And I was just like, kind of like recapping right there with Trevor Bauer, and I was about to have something nice to say about him, but you know what? Let me digress. Fuck that dude.
Yeah, like, I wanted to like him. I was like, oh, you're doing cool shit. Like, I appreciate what you're doing, like calling people out for cheating and then joining the dark side and basically showing everyone that, like, yeah, I'm actually a good pitcher so long as I do what y'all are doing. Like, if I join the club, I'm the shit. Right?
Yeah.
But dude, you can't do that. Like, You can't do that. That's like, I get it. Like, you have some rights to it. But dude, you're on national television and you're gonna hop on social media and you're gonna be that petty.
Yeah, all because what? You're trying to start a vlog? Like, chill the fuck out, dude.
And if we ever make it on here, like, and somebody steals our content, like, and then like just shows me talking, but doesn't actually have me like really talking or anything, and they're commentating over it and like saying that I'm fucking stupid or something like that, I'm not gonna get, if I get on their shit and I'm like, hey, I want the proceeds to this, feel free to call me a bitch. Like, I'm gonna say that in advance. But if that ever happens,
I will
call me a bitch for that. Right. And that's why you're my friend, is because in that situation, you'd be like, you're super petty.
I'll make the compilation video of the compilation video where I call you both a couple bitches on there. Like, y'all are doing some real hoe shit.
I appreciate that. But yeah, I was pretty mad over that.
Segue onto some not hoe shit. Free Bobby. He's back in the streets.
I saw a funny video of like people in was it the Bronx or Brooklyn?
Yeah.
I can't remember which one. They're all like hype in the streets, right? No social distancing. And everyone's like doing the brrr, or what was it? They're all doing that kind of stuff and yelling all these things. They put the mic in this fucking white kid's face and he's like, ah!
That's low key how I feel every time I try to roll my R's. Like, blurt, big blurt.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, what the fuck was that?" And I started laughing. And then this dude went off. He grabbed the mic and he's like, "My mom filed a missing persons report for me tonight because I'm here. Cops are looking for me. I'm over here, Mom." And I was like, "Oh shit, I actually like you, but that was really funny what you did."
Shout out to that kid, man.
I know, right?
I ain't seen the video, but that sounds great to me.
Oh yeah, I was super hype. I was laughing so hard when he was like, "Ah!" I was like, "That's not an ad lib, bro."
Let me ask you this though: is Bobby Shmurda's music gonna be worthwhile now that like he just did 7 years?
Nope.
Basically using what he's talking about in his music against him in court for organized crime, RICO, and all that. Nope. Can he even make the music we want to hear? Because like,
nope.
I like violent ass music, and that's kind of what he makes. But you can't do that right now.
He's not. It's not going to be worth listening to. Can you name me a rapper that went to prison outside of Tupac or jail? Prison. Let's go with prison, because I don't know any that have gotten out of prison and then made good music.
Oh, Dirty Bastard.
Is that really considered good music, or was it just entertaining?
It's good to me.
I guess entertaining.
Depends who you ask, I guess.
It's not going to be what you thought. Like, kind of like Ja Rule. Like, everyone, Ja Rule's out of jail. Ja Rule sucks. You know what I mean?
Whoa. Pump fucking brakes. First of all, the Pain is Love album by Ja Rule is top 5 for me. Just want to let that be known.
Okay.
However, Ja Rule went to prison, and it was fucking trash after that.
Every time. Like, Lil Wayne made what? Like, maybe like 3 or 4 good songs? Not to count the stupid FS1, Skip Bayless, Skip and Shannon bullshit.
Yeah, fuck
Undisputed. Right? Like, what has Lil Wayne done?
Not shit since like 2008, if we're being honest.
He made like a few. Like, Lil Wayne is probably the most successful rapper to get out of prison, in my opinion. Post-prison.
I feel like we're definitely missing somebody, but...
Maybe there's probably somebody out there that went to prison before. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about like interrupting like the career. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
okay.
Get famous, go to prison, get out of prison, and then make good music.
No, that doesn't really happen like that.
It doesn't happen. And you think it would, like, oh, he's got all these jail stories. No, he's out on good behavior, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm not mad at you either. Like, if you go to jail and like, you know what I mean? Do what you got to do to be free. Don't like be worrying about your ego and being hard and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you that, like, if you're going to go to jail, like, get out of jail and go enjoy, like, the shit that you did. Like, you made good money. You had, 3 or 4 good songs that are clearly going to make you money, and, like, you're set, bro. Like, if you don't make good music ever again, fuck it.
That's what I mean. Enjoy everything that came along with your success. You know what I mean? Don't go back to doing the same street shit that got you locked up. You know what I mean? Like, enjoy your freedom. You don't need to do that anymore. Yeah. Like, at one point in time, sure, you probably needed it, but you don't now. You straight. You got royalties. Go sit your ass down somewhere and don't be like T Grizzly's brother who got out of prison and went instantly back to prison because he got caught toting a fucking ratchet. Like, y'all got money. Pay old boy next to you to tote the ratchet. Or at least if you don't want to let him tote it, put it in your fucking pocket. And when the cops play over, oh shit, dog, you got me on this? My bro will give you like $30K probably. Like, just do the sit down for me. Be smarter. Quit being dumb.
Yeah, it's stupid, man. Like Kevin Gates did it too.
You hear me?
What the hell has Kevin Gates done since he kicked old bitch in the chest off the stage?
Actually, hold up, pump break. Kevin Gates dropped a couple mixtapes, went to prison, got out, and came through with the Make 'Em Believe tapes and all that, and that's, I think, is his best work.
All right. Maybe.
The second stint that he had to go do for like kicking old girl in the chest, trash after that. Like, I'm with you on that. That shit's trash.
All right.
But that Make 'Em Believe tape, like, that's all my favorite shit. Luca Brasi tapes all followed that. But he was rapping like not super heavy though.
Hold on. Who the hell, who do you know outside of the people that we were around in Louisiana that knew Kevin Gates before the song Two Phones?
Very, very few people in my life.
Exactly.
I like to take this moment to shout out to all you motherfuckers out there who, when I came through Ohio with the Make 'Em Believe mixtape, bumping it in the Impala SS, and everybody's like, this shit trash, Taylor. You listen to garbage music, Taylor. This shit's whack, Taylor. And then fucking fast forward 2-3 years, you're like, you heard of Kevin Gates? Like, bitch, did I hear Kevin Gates? I told you about fucking Kevin Gates. You told me he was ass.
I hated Kevin Gates for 3 years before people... Like, I hated Kevin Gates for 3 years, started liking Kevin Gates, and then it was a year after that people actually heard of Kevin Gates.
Facts.
Like, this shit was wild. ASAP Ferg, same shit. Like, I knew about ASAP Ferg like 6 years before people gave a fuck about ASAP Ferg.
The Fergenstein.
Who was the other one?
The mob. The whole mob in general, the ASAP mob.
Kendrick Lamar, too. Shout out Derek Carter. Thank you, Derek. You told me about Kendrick Lamar and had me listen to Kendrick Lamar, and I did
Speaking of Ja Rule.
Some shit. And I said, Kendrick Lamar, I didn't think Kendrick Lamar was good. And then he blew up after that recipe shit. And I was like, oh, shit. And I started listening to him a lot. I was like, no, that shit's good. Now I love Cartoons and Cereal, and that's his best song. So shout out Derek Carter. Thank you for that. Turned me on to Kendrick before he was on the cover of XXL.
Every thug needs a lady. Every time I see Derek Carter, I just think of Ja Rule, and I can't.
Also, shout out Jordan Kano for thinking Kendrick Lamar's best song is Collard Greens.
You know what, Jordan? You know, we'll talk about that in real life, son.
I don't know if he thinks that anymore, but he did. He was like, "That's my favorite shit."
Hey, I'm about to take a quick piss, so you can either hold it down or wait for me. But I got to go.
The hell, man! Right, you're drinking too much green tea. Go ahead, bro.
Coffee.
All right, so I just wanted to mention that in the meantime, I know a lot of people. We've been getting a few views on YouTube, but we've also been holding it down pretty good on Spotify, and we are now on TuneIn plus Alexa. So if you tell your Alexa to play Left Hooks Are Free podcast, that bitch will. Which is actually cool. I was like super stoked about it. We are also going to try to transfer YouTube. I know there's a few people that watch the entirety of it. I don't feel like that's our preferred. I don't think that's the best way to receive our content. I think that our clips on YouTube will be the best way to listen to what we have to say, and then I think Spotify is the easiest. So catch us on those. We're going to do our best to make edits. We have some more content coming out. I talked with Andy. I think y'all had a pretty good reception of what Andy and I did for episode 3. and I've told him that if he gets a microphone, that I'll do a monthly with him. I don't know what it'll be about, but like I said, he did a really good job, and I want to do that. Twitch is also coming soon. I'm going to talk a lot of shit to people online on Twitch, and I'm going to be doing a weekly, probably 5 to 10 minute video on my own. And I think the Husky Messiah also plans on doing some content on his own, such as Not Your Baby Daddy podcast and some other stuff. Go ahead.
Not Your Baby Daddy podcast. Coming soon. Wait for it. We're out here. Me and my boy Frenchie Fry, a.k.a. the A-Train, a.k.a. A Fry. And then, pay attention to the Left Hooks Are Free page. I'm going to start dropping like a little weekly content. Things I got to say. Things that cross my mind. I'm finna say something.
Do you have any finna say somethings this week? Or are you waiting to put that out? Or are we gonna tease that one? In journalism, that's called a teaser.
Ooh. I thought they only used that term at the strip club, but yeah, I'm probably gonna say something. I got something to say. I'm finna say something this weekend. We'll get it out there. Pay attention.
Also, while we're on this, y'all don't comment. You guys need to send us messages. Tell us if you like it. We prefer that if you would interact with us in the comments box. If you're receiving our content through YouTube, use the comments box. I know it doesn't exist on Spotify and on TuneIn, but if you're on the YouTube, on the tubes of the U, drop comments, drop likes, drop subscribes. Like it does a lot of shit for us, honestly, because we noticed after episode 3 that we're getting more viewership outside of our circle. So the more that you guys interact with us, the more YouTube thinks that we actually do a decent job. So you'd be doing us a big favor and keeping this train alive, because we're here for the long haul, but we can better our content and maybe we get some interviews and stuff. Because I know you talked to Javier Martinez. Is that his name?
Yeah, I actually bumped into him on the airplane after his fight that Saturday. And cool dude, cool cat, young dude, middleweight contender. Flatlined old boy Wagner, stopped him in the first round. Didn't even look like he'd been in a fight. Like he was just like cold-blooded chilling. But I talked to him for a quick second. He said, get our weight up, and he might pull through.
So where were we at? Y'all actually get to see me mad and in my head. So congratulations.
He's spooling up, ladies and gentlemen. What's the next topic of discussion, sir?
I have anything that's going to fucking piss me off?
Ooh,
should I talk about what we got here?
Let that open up your heart and you let that hate out.
I see. I got Lady Gaga's dogs on here.
What's up?
If you have Lady Gaga's dogs, like you should do the GameStop holdout and just not return the dogs. I know she's offering $500,000, but we can get that number up. If we have more people buy and sell that stock, just buy that stock. We'll get that number up. I don't have your dogs, Lady Gaga, but if I fucking did have your dogs, I'd be holding, because I know you got more than 500.
So what's the story here? Somebody kidnapped her dog?
Somebody kidnapped 2 of her French bulldogs and shot one of them motherfuckers. So
and they shot one?
I guess so. From what I read, they shot one.
What the
that's called letting them know.
What is the play? Like, how did this tale unfold that you took?
I didn't do much research, so I'm just speculating at this point.
You're like, you know what? I only got enough seats in the car for 2, so bah! Wouldn't you get more money for all 3 of them if you're going to ransom them off?
Yeah, but you got to let them know you're serious. Like, I'm not just trying to keep your dogs. You got to
kill the dog, though.
I love dogs, and I don't condone anyone doing any of this. I think it's really fucked up that somebody stole Lady Gaga's dogs and also shot one of her dogs. Yeah, I think that's super fucked up.
You're going to shoot the fucking
But on
dog.
the real, you are a savage, whoever you are.
No, fuck you, whoever you are. That shit makes me mad.
It should. It should make everyone mad. I'm just a real fucked up soul. Dog. And that is some savage shit. Like, you got to be real messed up in the head to steal a celebrity's dogs and then shoot one of them on the way out. Like, you fucking bitch.
Where they would. I have so many questions. I got some questions.
I don't know anything. We're just speculating. I don't know shit. I just saw it. And I was like, I can't believe this is happening. I guess I can pull it up. I guess I can Jamie myself.
Were they at old girl's crib? Like, you came into Lady Gaga's house and the only thing you thought to steal was the fucking pooches? And after you fucking bucked one down?
TMZ update 7:46 a.m. LAPD robbery homicide division has taken over the case. Blah, blah, blah. Lady Gaga's dogs were targeted by thieves Wednesday night. Thieves who shot her dog Walker and stole 2 of her French bulldogs. Law enforcement sources say she's offering $500,000 for the return of her dogs. No questions asked. The dog Walker had 3. Oh.
I feel like Walker's got to be like a bigger dog, right? He's not a Frenchie.
No, I read that shit wrong. They shot her dog Walker. They didn't shoot her dog. I thought I didn't. For all you English people out there.
So the dog Walker's name.
Capital W was not included as a lowercase w. They shot the dog Walker and they ganked the dogs. All right.
Oh, that's way better.
Walker was the dog.
Oh,
they shot the Walker. I thought they shot one of her dogs.
As long as they didn't shoot the dog. I just didn't like the shot the dog. Shooting the dog Walker, that's understandable. I get it. All right. Story's already on the up and up, but continue.
All right. Man, where was I at? All right. The dog Walker had 3 of Lady Gaga's bulldogs out in Hollywood just before 10 p.m. when one gunman and possibly more came upon him. So it was a dude. We don't know what was said, but the dog Walker was shot and the gunman made off with 2 of the dogs. There are reports there were only 2 bulldogs being walked, with 1 taken and 1 escaped and was later found. Huh.
Okay, so they got one of old girl's dogs.
Yeah, but like, shout out to TMZ for fucking putting weird wording on that.
Clickbait. Well, here, I have a question. How did they shoot anyone in LA when guns are like illegal there? So like, don't the criminals know that you can't use guns?
Hold on. In my defense, TMZ, if you're going to put the whole headline in caps, you're going to get me to misread this. For some reason, like, I thought because the headline was in caps that it was like they were naming the dog, right?
The dog's name was Walker.
Your boy loves dogs, right? So I could see somebody be like, "Oh, Michaela's dog Cash," right? And I'd be like, "Oh, Cash died." So Walker's actually a good name for a dog. I don't know. Maybe she likes Walker Texas Ranger, but I guess not. I guess the dog Walker got ganked, and then one of the dogs got stolen. So,
first of all,
apparently they're in high demand and are expensive.
Oh yeah.
So it is possible that the gunman didn't know the dogs were owned by Lady Gaga.
I mean, who gives a fuck? If you're there to steal a Frenchie, you're gonna take it whether or not it's Lady Gaga's Frenchie. Like, she ain't that cool. She don't have like clout in the streets where people are like, "Nah, fam, that's Lady Gaga, dog."
Not only that, but if you're offering $500,000 for the return,
I'm gonna take that.
Of the dogs. Also, don't fall for it. Like, I got to say this. I don't want to say this, but she said that she'll give you $500,000, no questions asked. But your best option is just to let the dog go and let it get found. If you actually return that dog, you go to jail for murder because you shot the dog walker.
Oh, he died?
I don't know if he died, but you still shot him. It's attempted murder. You're going to jail, son.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely snitching.
You ain't getting $500,000 and you're going to jail. Like, just hold out.
Nah.
That would be my advice. I would let the dog go and lay low.
Hypothetically speaking, I'd slang the dog for about 10 stacks on the black market and go chill in Aruba.
Yeah. This is a fucked up conversation, but like that's in all honesty,
I'm just happy that no dogs were harmed.
That's the left hook though, to be said, is like, what would you do if you were stealing Frenchies and
Yeah.
you would, first of all, I wouldn't steal French bulldogs because I fucking hate French bulldogs. Like, who the fuck wants a French bulldog?
I mean,
Those
I got
little
an English
ugly,
bulldog, and
snarling motherfuckers.
they're high maintenance.
Yeah, not only that, but like I think French bulldogs are ugly, man. It's
Well,
like pugs. Like if I had a pug, my wife had a pug, and somebody stole the pug, I'd be like, oh, they stole the pug. Like I'd be like, good riddance.
Well, we going to war. You steal my pug.
I don't like pugs, man. It's
I
like
want some
cats,
real
bro.
Liam
I don't like cats.
Liam Neeson shit without the racism.
Wait, what?
I said I'll be like Liam Neeson, but not racist.
What's racist about Liam Neeson? I didn't know this story.
This is an old story, so we won't get into it now. But for those of you out there wondering, go look it up.
All right. I
don't want to butcher it.
I didn't know he was racist.
Allegedly.
That makes sense, though. Speaking of racism,
your
boy has been watching these fucking Holocaust shit, and I'm starting to like they put on this movie. It was on the top 10. It was what's it called? Operation Finale. It's Jewish, so it's got old boy Poe Dameron in it. He's best starfighter in the galaxy.
They can fly now?
He didn't fly a single plane.
I heard he was a spice runner. That's what I heard.
He might have been allegedly a spice runner. It was really fucking good, man. Like, it was about Adolf Eichmann, and then I was searching for Adolf Eichmann on YouTube, and like I did not know. I've watched so many documentaries on World War II. Like, I'm fascinated by World War II, man. And dude, this dude was cold, man. Like, if people don't think that evil exists in this world, bro, like, cold. Like, they had like months. I think it was weeks, maybe even months of this dude on trial, right after they captured his ass in Argentina, which, fuck you, Lionel Messi, if you're a Nazi. I don't know if you are, but your country was harboring fucking Nazis back in the day.
Real quick. What did he do wrong that he didn't make the cut into joining NASA with the other Nazis?
Oh, well, he wasn't building V2s.
That's a problem. Got you. Okay.
So this dude was the dude, Adolf Eichmann, for those of you who don't know, was the dude who he basically manufactured the Holocaust. Like, that dude, right? Like, Hitler was like, we need to get rid of Jews. And this dude was like, I got an idea, right? Damn. Like, that fucking guy slipped away before the Nuremberg trials, right? Didn't off himself, none of that shit. Made it to Argentina, which possibly with the help of the Vatican in Rome, that we'll get to that on another subject. But the Catholic Church has been in some fuck shit back in the day. You think it was just touching kids, right?
I thought it was bad enough they was just touching butts. Now they fucking with Nazis.
Yeah, so basically they had, like, after World War II or in the decline of World War II, they had like an underground railroad type of deal to get like the bad dudes out of Germany, which is, like I said, real fucked. Like, this is why, like, I started watching this. I was like, what? Like, to me, it's nuts, right? So they found this dude in Argentina, and they tried him, right? And like, why didn't they talk about this shit in school, bro? Like, this is like one of the craziest stories, right? So they televised his trial in Jerusalem, right? This dude was cold. I watched a documentary on it. They were trying to see, like, the camera people were just like cameras on him, trying to see if he would have a reaction to the stories. Like, they had like 100 something people testify of their experiences while they were in like Auschwitz and all the concentration camps and like the crap that they went through. Yeah. And this dude just like has to listen to this in court and just stone.
Just chilling. No effect at all.
Stone to the point of where, like, one of the last things they did, they showed a compilation video of the fucking the video of the Holocaust victims, bro.
Nothing. No
Cold.
response. Dang.
Cold.
That's fucked.
Like I've been, my shoulder hurts because I got that COVID vaccine. So I was halfway up all night, like because my shoulder hurt, and then halfway up because I was pondering like humanity itself.
Oh, it got you that hard, huh?
Yeah, like it hit me because I'm like, man, like when Jordan Peterson talks about like the psychology of the evil that happened in like Russia and Germany and all that, and like you think like, oh, he's got reasons for this, right? But like to me, I'm like, man, humanity, like people talk about like humanizing things and like that helps. And I think humanity is just as evil as it is good, bro. Like it goes against like all the religious teachings that I've had, but like when I watch stories like that, I'm like, dude, people have the capacity to be really, really fucking evil.
Well, yeah, and I think it's kind of wild, like that whole concept of good and evil, because when we look at like if we remove humans from this conversation for a minute, and we just talk about what we usually deem the natural world, like animal kingdom and all that.
Yeah.
Animals do some like evil ass shit, and like, but it's not evil to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you ever watch like a pride of like lionesses take down a water buffalo, or like I was watching some Komodo dragons fuck up a water buffalo. Komodo dragons are some dark, evil bastards. They're just like, I'm gonna bite you and follow you around for a week while you slowly die. And every once in a while, I'll hop in there and piss with you a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
The natural world's pretty fucked, but I think, man, when you add in the level of like, well, knowing ourselves, we are aware of our own existence. You know what I mean? Existentialism. You add it into that pot and stir, like the evil gets like, you know what I mean, ramped up.
Well,
like,
you start trying to think, right? Like as humans, bro, like this is what we do, right? We start thinking of reasons. Like we try to find the rationale in the whole equation, right? So like, dude, I love nature shit too. Like you and I both like nature shows. I can watch Planet Earth like all fucking day, right? So like one of the most evil things I've seen in nature is orcas and penguins, right?
Oh man,
dude, they just toss them around.
They play with them, but like they murking y'all, but for their own entertainment.
Like it, but like the extent, the rationale that we have behind that as observers of this behavior is that they're actually teaching the younger ones how to do this. Like not to teach them to play with their food, but to teach them this is your strategies and how you pursue and stuff like that. And like to me, I think like we find the rationale in that. We find the rationale in animals hunting for food. We find the rationale in so many different things. And the things that we don't have answers to are either like supernatural good or supernatural evil. But me, last night, like I was really thinking about this and I'm like, dude, I think people just have it in them. Like I think without your spiritual, the spiritual battle between good and evil, I think evil exists within all of us, and I've tried to think like how deep does my well go, like as a person? Because like honestly, I was like, I'm kind of scared of myself. Like I could never go that far, but I wonder how far I could go and be stone face. You know what I mean?
You think it's that
like it makes you
knowing.
question your humanity.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. Like. But what do you think bothers you the most about it? Is just the fact that you don't know how deep your own well could actually go, and like that's something you don't want to wade into.
No, like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was like some weird like shock value thing that happened in my brain that just made me wonder, like of all my previous experiences, like could I have ever gone off the deep end and like went that far, right? Because like I thought about racism in general after this, and I was like, man, the Jews most recently had it so rough. But at the same time, like I look back at like the 1960s when everything kind of changed for black people in the United States, right? Where we kind
Civil
of like
rights movement and all
started
that.
to say that it was not okay to segregate ourselves, and thought about like people that I love and I appreciate in my life stood by. Like people that I know, like that could have made a difference. And you think like, oh, if I saw the Holocaust happening in my country, I'd go out and make a difference. I don't think you
Yeah,
would.
I think
Like you
everyone.
really think you have to dig that deep and be like, would you fucking do something about it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think everyone will sit here and tell you that they would because that's like not even just like what you're supposed to do. Like I'm sure everyone feels like you know what I mean that they would. You know what I mean. But when it comes down to it, you'd be surprised like how few actually stand up and do something about it.
And and like once again we'll find the rationale and be like, well, they're fearful for their lives. Like you don't give up your own life for the sake
Oh yeah.
of that. And man, like, but me, like I look at it and like I live the whole like military. Like I'll serve my country. I'm willing to die for my country. No, the fuck I'm not. No, the fuck I'm not.
I mean, I'm you know we've done this. We went and we both deployed. We went and did it. I'm down to like ride for like what I believe to be America, but just because you outrank me and you tell me to do this, that doesn't mean I agree with you and I'm going to ride for that. You know what I mean? The military is still comprised of like individuals,
Like I said,
and
man, like
there's room
it
for it
just
to go awry.
I I I I cannot begin to express like how fucked up it had my head last night. Like trying to just think like how the hell in my life can I like make a string of rationale that won't lead us there? Like it had me that fucked up. Like could I tell people like and like have the ripple effect go so far? Like what could I say that would make that to where people would have that intersection point and be like, whoa,
Oh, you really
right?
going through it?
Yeah, like no, it fucked with me, bro. Like it, because like I said, I thought about it and I was like, oh, like like homeboy got stepped on by the cop, and I'm like, oh, that dude, you know, was from what I've heard was not like what I would call a great person, and the cop is also a piece of shit, and I can rationalize that all day and just go back and forth and be like, uh, criminal deserves some sort of punishment, but not that much punishment, right? I can do that, like my frontal
Yeah. Talking
cortex
about
is just
like
firing off everywhere. But I'm like, what place, what place in all that could I like somebody put me to just like turn a blind eye to 6 million Jews being murdered?
I know, right?
Like,
Because here's like, because
dude,
like Gina Carano, right? Just got fired from Disney for saying that for comparing people. Well, she was talking about like Republicans. I'm not going to hop on the wave with her, so don't trip me up on
yeah,
that. But her thing was she was comparing Republicans being silenced by their neighbors and their peers, much like Jews were like persecuted by their neighbors and their peers. Like she basically made the point that like, hey, it wasn't just SS people and the government stomping Jews out in the streets. It was their own neighbors who they've known their lives. You know what I mean? And she's
yeah,
talking about how like these narratives can like influence the masses. And I was like, I don't think people like take into account how slippery of a slope it can be when we're talking about things like that. Like, sure, 6 million Jews like persecuted. We're all like, oh hell no. But it's like, at what step was the line drawn to where you know what I mean?
like
You
how
should have. I
far
feel like you should have known like this many steps back. Like,
how far are we away from saying illegal immigration isn't okay to all Hispanic people need to go? Like
that's crazy.
because like you think that 1945 was a long time ago. 1945 wasn't a long time ago.
That's not like
Like I
you know
wasn't
people
around
that were
for it.
alive for that.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, people, this was a first world country, right? Like
Yeah,
Germany had been legit before that, and like people were mad, and people like it was post World War One Germany. Like what would have to happen? And then it makes you like you start to think like, did they have a reason? And you're like, not a reason to go that far, but like, did they have a reason? Did like, how mad were these people? And like, what the fuck happened?
Well,
Because we've seen this happen in other countries where like ISIS is beheading people in the streets. And you're like, fuck, how did they get there? You know what I mean? And like, how close are we? That's the thing where I'm at. I'm like, because I have a huge amount of empathy for the fact that like I said, I think individuals within all races can be bad. I feel like culture can not be compatible with other forms of culture. I think all these things can exist within our society, right? But like the peaks and lulls of hatred are insane to me. And how we're like so quick to the point of where like I had to search on YouTube for more, I mean, search on Netflix and stuff like that for more information on this. Cause like I was like, what the fuck? Like one dude is put into power, dude sucked in college, right? Gets put into power and is like, yeah, I organize this shit and like organize the marches and all that shit. And 6 million Jews died. And this dude is in court saying, yeah, I'm not personally responsible for it because I didn't actually do any of it. So I feel distance enough from it.
well, that's just
No
like the
problems.
mob. You know what I mean?
Like
Rico.
straight up, like I'm good. Like you guys are gonna kill me, and I'm accepting that, but I didn't do this shit. That's what
crazy.
made him sleep at night for real.
That's cool. That's a high. I don't even know what that is. That's an evil
That-
ass dude.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm like, how like you would look at this and you'd be like, oh, this dude was evil, like you know, probably from the get go, like 15 years old, he was probably like an evil motherfucker. But you and I both know somebody that shot somebody, like killed his girlfriend, and this dude was a good dude, like
Nicest
fucking
dude
love
ever.
that guy.
Free Pat.
Like, how do you get there? You know, and we can come up with all these excuses and rationales for psychology and all this shit and all that, but man, I think humans have the capacity to do some fucking bad shit.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's in there. Like you said,
Bad.
how deep is the well? That's the question. Like everybody's got the propensity to do some fucked up shit. Like let's not Candyland this shit out. But
Bad.
something that caught me up in all that is like, why don't we learn more about like talking about the Holocaust? How did we get to that point? No one tells you about that. You don't learn about that. Like the media, the propaganda, like all the influence that led us to that point. Wouldn't it be good information to have to avoid these such things if we could have a populace that's educated on like how slippery this slope is and like what are some of the steps that are involved? You know what I mean?
Well, and that's what kind of brings me to my next point is like we kind of do, like as a society, we're kind of educated on this to the point where we're like, oh, Joe Biden wants to take the guns away. Hitler tried to take the guns away. And then we're like, oh, Donald Trump, you know, wants a secret police force and Hitler did that. And we're like, this is how you become Hitler. It's like, I don't know if that's how you become Hitler. But
Well, I think
I know
that's we need to quit
that
calling
anytime you have a
everyone fucking
similarity,
Nazis.
well, that's the evilest thing we can think of.
I know, but we're denouncing like the severity of everything. When you just call everyone a Nazi and you compare everything to like Hitler and like, oh, Trump's Hitler, this guy's Hitler, this person's Hitler, they're Nazis. It's like you're not really helping your argument as much as are you just like desensitizing one how impactful the Nazis really were and how fucked up they were. Like, so you know what I mean? Donald Trump's not a fucking Nazi. I don't like Donald Trump either, but he's not a fucking Nazi. Chill out. You know what I mean? And it's like it's just a cop out way to me of having an argument. Like you can't present an actual argument intelligently. So you just want to call everyone a Nazi because if you call someone a Nazi, you can't defend a Nazi or you automatically just look terrible. You know what I mean? It's like this weird deflect.
Right. And we have to remember that as a society, it's not how close Donald Trump is to being a Nazi. It's how close as a society are we to allowing Nazi shit to happen.
That should be more
That's
important.
the important part. Right? Because one dude can sit on this pedestal and it happens all the time, right? You can go on Twitter, you can go in the streets, you can find people with torches outside of rallies, right? You can find your local KKK, right? You can find all this shit out there, right?
Yeah.
But how close are we as like a 65% of this country, roughly, right? Or some number, right? How many people are we away from having a dramatic enough movement to allow something that cruel to occur? And I think that's the question that we had. Like, it's cool. Like, oh, Donald Trump is very close to being a Nazi. It's like, well, how close are you to being a Nazi? How close is your family to being a Nazi?
Because if we have this one individual, he can't do anything without the support of the populace. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
because I know a lot of people that are like, yeah, like I know a lot of people that want to take guns away that aren't even, dude, some of the most empathetic people I've met on the planet. Some people that just like, they're just like, violence is the worst thing on the planet and guns are a tool for it. And I just don't want them to have it. I'm like, you're so far, like as those people, you're so far away from being a Nazi in that attitude that I'm not willing to call you a Nazi for it. Right. But like I said, it made me question. Like it made me question like where our interventions are as a society, where our roadblocks are for that behavior. And we think, like you said, like we're like, why aren't we taught these things? Well, like I think we just shock people into thinking that that's like the worst thing. You're like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, you put a bunch of people in concentration camps and then you slowly kill them off because you blame all your problems on them. You're like,
China has a bunch of people in concentration camps right now. No one gives.
Yeah, and what am I doing? Drinking sparkling water, filming a fucking podcast. You know what I mean? Like to think that I'm gonna do something about it it's not gonna happen. So how do we stop ourselves from doing that? I don't know. Like I'm still pondering it, and this is gonna be fucking with me for like probably a few months. This is the shit that keeps me up at night. For all of you that think I'm racist, I legit lose sleep over this. Like,
who thinks you're racist?
Dude, a lot of people think I'm fucking racist.
Well, all right. Moving on from that.
No, I mean, but it's so easy. It's so easy to be labeled that when it's like, wait, no, like just because I rationalize like a certain situation, right? Like let's say what's something big and prominent that happened, like the riots, right? Just because I say that the riots aren't right and that Target had a point by by denying service for people trying to get milk that were, pepper sprayed, right? I'm like, well, they have the right to do that. Like you can be mad at them, but like they have the right to do that. You can't say that they have no right to do that.
Well, yeah, they're a business, like a private
right business. But if I rationalize that, the fact that I'm rationalizing it means that I'm not taking it seriously enough, which alludes to that I don't care enough, which is a slippery slope argument that I'm actually all for it. Like, and this is how like I get there by like posting my 2 cents, and then people are like, oh shit, right? And like and not only that, but I've played devil's advocate on some hard angles. I played some really hard devil's advocate angles with people, not for the purpose of telling them how I feel, but for the purpose of telling them that other ways to look at it exist.
Or even that they may have holes in their argument.
Right. And like I said, I can sit up here all day and say I'm as far from being a racist as you can possibly be. But like I said, after watching that shit last night, I was like, yo, a lot of people are a lot closer to being on board with the plan than they care to admit. And that's some fucked up shit.
Now, do you think the fact that you got the COVID vaccine before watching this had anything like type of mental neural impact on you? Because from what I've heard out in the streets, Bill Gates got some nanotechnology in that vaccine. He's reading your thoughts.
If so, right, man, like it's clearly changing me for the good because I'm getting deep. Like, yeah. If that's what the point is, then that's working, bud. Like, beam me up, Scotty.
Tell me about the vaccine, though. What's the process, the feel? Like, walk me through that. I'm sure everyone's curious.
Well, it's pretty simple. It's like almost any other vaccine, except they wait to see if you'll go into anaphylactic shock. which I didn't go into anaphylactic shock. I went to normal shock.
You
Which
had
is
to like flatten out and like, ooh.
so. I've never had a problem with vaccines before. I've been vaccinated so many damn times, and like I don't know what the hell happened. But yesterday I got my vaccine, and usually this only happens with needles for like IVs and drawing blood. But dude, I fell out. Like it
Like
was
how
bad.
bad did you fall out? Like how heavy?
Like my blood pressure was 68/45.
Oh damn! Like did you like
I couldn't
lose consciousness
see.
at any point?
No, but I was as close as I've ever been. I've never been that close to passing out.
Do you
Like
it
was
think it has
funny
anything
too.
to do with COVID being the COVID vaccine or just in general?
I probably had some anxiety about the fact that there's a wait time to see if you'll be all right. Like knowing the way my brain works is I know that there's a the fact that they're making me do that means that there's a possibility that that could happen to me, even though no matter how slim it is, my brain is like freak out about it. Right. So that's probably the reason. And my dad's words, I just don't trust the medical field for some reason, even though like I tell everyone, hey, trust the medical field. I'm like, I don't trust it.
You know who trusted the medical field? Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
What's up, Rich? Get at me.
So I got the vaccine. I'm sitting there, and the funny part of the story is I sit down. I'm like, oh, I told the girl who got it first. I was like, hey, so we just gotta wait here and see if anybody falls out. And we're like, haha. Like I laugh about it.
And then you fell out.
And she's like, I know, like, y'all gonna make us wait here for like 20 minutes? Y'all ain't even got no candy? That's what she said to the dude. And I was like,
they didn't give you no cookies or nothing?
So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm just like chilling. And then I notice like it sounds like the TV's going out. Like it goes, boo. And I was like, oh, we're going down the rabbit hole, I guess. And they were joking around about them not having any candy. And I go, like, they're talking. I'm like, hey. And he's like, what's up, man? I was like, I ain't doing too good. And he's like, what, you need some candy or something? I said, so y'all do have candy. Right before I like have a real problem.
So y'all motherfuckers out here holding out on me.
Even when I'm at like my worst state of mind, I still have too much humor. Like just enough to make them question whether I'm actually having a problem or not. Like, because he was like, wait, so are you not? Wait, are you good or no? And I was like, no, I'm not good. I'm just making jokes.
I'm being funny, but I'm also might be dying. So, like, bring the fucking cream savers up here right now, you bitch.
Yeah, it was funny. Like, they put me in the seat and they're monitoring my blood pressure and all that. And, like, I was like, I was so close to passing out. Like, I couldn't see anything. Like, everything just looked white. Like... And then the doctor's like,
did they do anything for you?
Yeah, they put my legs up. That's what I was asking. I was like, what's going to happen if I like pass out? Because he's like, you're having a vasovagal attack. And I was like, well, what happens if I pass out?
Wait. You're having a what?
Vasovagal.
What's that mean?
Well, apparently what happens is like when you freak the fuck out, your blood vessels expand, which dramatically lowers your blood pressure.
Okay.
And that's why my blood pressure was super low. So I could be wrong. I'm not a medical person at all. Like I just randomly know things that people say, and then my dad says things. So
always trust
that's where
your medical professionals like Dr. Fauci, because whenever he makes moves in the stock market, I follow suit.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, it was pretty funny. And by the way, maybe I'm just a pussy all around, but this vaccine. I got the anthrax vaccination, and like it made my lymph nodes swell up underneath my armpit and felt like a baseball was underneath there. I don't know about you.
No, I didn't have that. My arm just like hurt at the spot.
Yeah, that's what mine's doing right now. Like, man, I'm unbelievably sore, and I got it in the right arm, so like I had to move it around.
Yeah.
Like I could have got it left, and was like, no, I use my right arm more, so we're gonna push through this pain. And then here I am bitching.
Now, let me ask you this. How much did it impact your arm? Like, could you still wax a carrot if you had to?
Wax it? Yeah.
That's
one of my favorite terms for that process.
So you could wax a carrot, but probably not throwing a two-seamer.
I could throw a two-seamer though.
Okay.
Dude, the problem is like I feel pain and I'm like, oh, that hurts. And you've seen me be fucked up and still play. So that's why I know I can still throw a two-seamer.
But would it hurt though? I'm saying like
to
the point that you don't want to throw one.
Yeah, I could do that, but like I just sit back and focus on technique, and I would throw like probably like a really slow two-seamer.
Let me ask you this now, because I ran into a dude in the elevator when I was in Vegas, and he was telling me about how like he had just got the vaccine. His wife got a different brand, and he was like talking about how his arm hurt, and then he was sick for like 12 to 18 hours after that. And then he's like, after that, I was fine.
I think I didn't get sick, but I think it's because I felt down, and I did what I do when I have time and I don't feel right, and I just fucking sleep. I just don't do shit. Like I couldn't sleep very good, but I made sure that I took all the sleep that I could get in, like, which has been my favorite fucking cure to feeling like shit. Is like the more sleep you get, the better you feel.
Do you where you at on vitamin D? Do you know?
I don't know. Are you trying to ask me? You're trying to give me some vitamin D? Like, you've been talking about all this fuck shit. Like, like? Don't be talking sly to me like that.
Oh, I ain't pitching no woo, friend. Don't worry about that. If I was pitching woo, you know, boy. But what I'm asking is, because vitamin D is so like crucial. All these studies are saying to like your COVID response, like was like high 90% that anyone that gets really sick and or dies are all deficient, like completely deficient in vitamin D. But no one's talking about that.
Apparently, this has vitamin D in it. Nope, never mind. Not a significant source of vitamin D, so probably not. Probably don't have a lot.
I was just kind of wondering, because if you knew what your vitamin D was and like you're like, oh, I didn't get sick from the vaccines. I mean, it just curiosity got me.
No, overall, I'm like a pretty good candidate not to be too messed up by any of this, just because I'm thin, I'm in decent shape, I don't really have any bad habits.
Yeah.
I prioritize sleep. I drink water. My diet is shaky, but
plenty of vitamin D. Mm-hmm. What?
I don't get plenty of vitamin D.
Oh,
I don't know any source of vitamin D. I probably do.
The sun.
I don't go outside that often, man. I'm indoors.
I know, I'm looking real fucking pale ever since I moved back.
Cat.
It's too cold to go outside. Like, why do y'all live here? Why? Somebody tell me why in the comments.
It was 40 degrees, and I uttered the words, "It feels good outside."
And you should be ashamed of yourself for that.
I was like, what? I had my window rolled down on the way to work. It was 40.
You know what? I'm not going to cap on you because, like, if you can see here, it's, like 40 here today. And your boys out here got the shorts on. Ugh.
It's funny. I can't see your tats.
I just sprouted a dog from between my legs. Oh, you want to see him? I'll show it to you. Free pat.
Yeah, man. A lot of people I know, like some people I know that have gotten COVID, I'm like, man, you should not be here after having COVID. But I don't know anybody that's died.
Get that vitamin D. That's all I'm saying. If you're worried about it, it seems like vitamin D is important. I'm not a medical professional, but I can follow Fauci's, stock sales. So,
one thing I am is always hydrated, and I think I told you about Topo Chico, Little Mole. Ooh. That is the best sparkling water I've ever had. I love my Ahas, but if y'all ain't had a Topo Chico yet and you like sparkling water, you're fucking missing out. Sparkling water is the go-to for all you soda drinkers, by the way. You should change up that lifestyle and start drinking the TV static.
You shouldn't be drinking soda unless you put liquor in it. I'm just going to say that.
Facts. And even then, I think this would probably taste pretty good with some liquor in it.
I don't know about that. I still need some pineapple Fanta in my life so I can make some mud. Oh, speaking of pineapple Fanta and drinking mud, can we skip back to my Vegas trip where I played this terrible fucking card game? Terrible.
Go ahead.
I was out there with my shawty. We'll just say that for now. And it was her friend's 30th birthday party, so happy birthday to her, shout out. And they wanted to have like a game night, right? So we played little spades, did like the usual. And then they really want to play this game. It's like a drinking card game called Do It or Drink. And like in my mind, I don't play these types of games. You know me, I don't really play like drinking games or anything like that. But this game seems fun. It's like very interactive, like, you know, such things as like call your mom or call this place or show someone your camera roll for 30 seconds or like text your ex and tell them you want to get back together. Like just some wild stuff, you know what I mean? Fun for anyone.
Innocent stuff, not taking it too far.
Seemingly. About 30 minutes in this game, I'm looking around the room of some 20-somethings and low 30-year-old individuals who don't like, no one seems to be like real heavy drinkers. And we all fucked up. We are lit. Like dumb lit. Like, and I'm kind of sitting there like looking around. Like I brought my pint of the Henny, obviously. It's gone. And I was like, oh, how did I get here? It's just like this game. It's like so smooth. It's like, oh, call or let whoever to the right of you like grab your crotch till the next turn or take 2 shots. And it's like, well, depending on who's to the right of you. But it's just like all these little things, you don't think nothing of it.
So
and
is it everybody?
Everybody.
Is it
it's
like
just going around
so?
the
It's
circle.
like let somebody. Oh, it's like you tell the next person.
Oh, like that
Or
one's
is
like
it
to the
all
person
the
to your
people?
right. Like it's like grab the crotch of the person to your right till your next turn, or take 2
okay.
shots. I had to call my mom, and it's like some of them are like call this person, and if they don't answer, take 2 shots. But more of the story is if you like to get fucked up unbeknownst to ye, play that game. Because I woke up, I was like, I went to leave. I was like, oh, we got to get an Uber. I was like, I didn't intend to get like this twisted. People walking outside, torn up, like people were just like, I didn't intend to get this torn up.
That's some Midwest shit right there. Got torn up.
We had people in the bathroom just like letting it fly. Like you got
Letting what fly?
Oh. Coming out smiling like, and I'm gonna go do it again. And it's like, well, all right then. But that game.
My problem is in that game
wild.
that I would never drink.
Oh, I bet you would.
You already know I have a problem.
I know, but some of them it's like.
How many times have you seen somebody?
You going to deep throat a banana? You going to deep throat the banana for everybody?
I don't know if I can. I'll gag on it though.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't that hard.
Pause.
It's not that hard.
I know it's a banana.
It's a banana.
It's real soft.
I mean, well, if someone said to do it to somebody, then I would be like, nah, I'm gonna take a drink. But
2 shots.
Seriously. Now, this reminds me of a game I learned when I was in Coast Guard base training. We had too much free time, and some of y'all may know this game, but it's called What Are the Odds? This is a good game. So
I don't know this one.
When somebody says something, they're like, "Oh, I'm about to do a burnout in my car, right?" Or some shit like that. Like, "Oh, I'm about to punch this old bitch in the face."
Hey,
that's a good one right there. All right, and then if somebody says, "What are the odds?" Then you have to pick odds, right? So if someone's like, "Oh, 1 in 50," well, usually you have a third-party member or you have a random number generator that allows you to put 1 through 50, and you pick a number between 1 and 50 at that point, and if it hits the number, then you got to do it. It's like a gentleman's game. So, like, I played this game with Michaela in the car, and she said, "What are the odds that you have to shut the fuck up?" And I was like, 1 in 4. And sure enough, if I can hit the number that I had, and I just like shut the fuck up. It's an honor game.
Why are you so aggressive with each other?
I don't know. This is how do you not be aggressive and be married to me? I'm a pretty aggressive individual.
Sir, you made a good point right there. How do you not be aggressive being married to you? You know what? You're fucking right.
Yeah, like it takes a special woman to deal with the shit that I have.
And she better have a clean jab.
Nah, your jab is ugly as hell, fam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good game though. Like, you should start doing that to people.
I feel like you gotta go with
I
the
have fun
number
to make it
generator. Because if I'm the third party and it sounds like some wild shit, and they'll be like, the number's 49. I'm like, yep, it was.
No, what you do is like, if you have a third party, is like you tell the person, you're like, oh, I picked fucking 42, and then the other guy goes, I picked 42, and then it's like, oh, 42. Y'all both had 42, but I guess if you like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in our circle we would be fucked up. We'd be like, yeah, he said 42.
And they'd be like, yeah, I did say that shit, and I hit that bitch.
This game would have been really, really dangerous when we were all together at Keesler.
Back in our youth.
Yeah, because like when I was in the Coast Guard, old boy, like I was just trying. I was trying to do some fuck shit. Like one time, like basic training's fucking stupid, and I was like, I'm about to grab old boy's fucking hat and put that shit on. And old boy's like, what are the odds? I was like 1 and 2. And they were like, are you fucking serious? And I won that shit. And they were like, motherfucker. I was like, I'm about a 50 on that. I'm already leaving.
Oh, that's true. Who gives a fuck at that point? We out.
Yeah. Then I have the excuse. I was like, I lost the odds, man. They're like, fuck your odds. I'll be like, fuck my odds. And I'm already getting medically discharged. What are you going to give me a discharge for some other shit? Come on. You going to do all that paperwork just because I stole your hat? That's probably what I would say.
That's like when you're leaving the restaurant or in my case, the bar and or strip club. And they're like, you got to leave. It's like, I'm already leaving. Like, go sit down.
So what are you going to do? Make me leave faster?
You going to make me stay? Like, you got to stay. I'm like, all right.
Look.
That ain't what you want.
Look, you may not want me here, but I definitely don't want to be here.
It's like, I'm fucking leaving. It's like, yeah, you better leave. It's like, okay.
I love when they do that.
Okay.
Because usually the Taylor response to that is, yeah, you better hope I don't come back. That's usually the Taylor response.
Poke. Are you wearing a vest? Yeah, that's good.
Allegedly.
Very allegedly.
These things allegedly happened. They never actually happened. It's time for you to go. You better hope I don't come back. All right.
Give me my debit card.
Yeah, man, that's I don't know where to go from there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Thought I'd let y'all get a little peek at these pale ass legs real quick.
Pale boys.
Too cold to go outside.
I think we covered all your bases. I was going to talk about me being pissed off at work, but I'm going to let that shit go.
Yeah.
Unless they fuck up again, and then I might be unemployed.
Hey, there's worse things to be than unemployed. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm enjoying my unemployment.
Yeah, I don't think I have much more to go, man. Like,
no.
Yeah, that's about it. Fucking Andy and I supposed to have a podcast going. What'd you think of Andy and I's our episode without you, man?
I mean, I wasn't mad at it. Y'all didn't say anything about fighting and or sports in general, but it's all good. I like what y'all was doing.
It's like one of those things that we talk about sports because we like sports.
Yeah.
Right. We both have that common interest, and keeping a conversation going with people. I think the key is to know their interests and talk about it. Like, I mean, if I had, if we had your mom on the podcast, what the hell would we be talking about?
We pull no punches over here.
I don't pull punches. That was a good one though, and you know it.
You're a wild boy. I liked it though.
I know. No, but for real, like if I had my dad on here, the conversation about sports, like we could talk about some sports. My dad likes sports, but we'd have other things to talk about. That's just how it is.
No, that's what I'm saying. I liked it. And I like the idea of you guys doing like your own thing to where you can talk more of like in those lanes of topics. You know what I mean?
I don't know what to call it. Get in the comments section. I think it's going to be circled around stories about bad shit people do in the military. I think that is going to be our niche, and because I
Also-
think we have plenty of people to give us content, and I have plenty of content on my own. So, like we want to kind of do like what Jocko does, and you know how he reads like they stormed the lines, and the leadership took hold. I'm Jocko, so I breathe really hard into the microphone for no fucking reason.
Or put some respect on that man's name.
I don't give a shit. He's not my leader, so I don't gotta listen to him. But he reads these things, like he reads book art, like portions of books. He talks with people about leadership and stuff like that. It's awesome show, man. Shout out to Jocko. He does some good shit. But he has some where it's like been failed leadership and stuff like that. But that's what his whole thing surrounds. So personally, I think it would be really entertaining to have anonymous stories. And I say that if you were going to submit stories of fuck shit that you did or other people did in the military, submit to us anonymously. lefthooksarefree@gmail.com. We want to see your stories. Or if you know me, just DM me. But the reason why I'm saying this anonymously is because I definitely don't want OSI thinking that they can mingle in the business of this podcast and thinking that they can rummage through our shit and get documents for it. Because you know the fuck they will, especially with Chief Master Sergeant Bass up there. She's doesn't like trolling, so she's definitely not going to like any left hooks are free. She definitely would hate me. Sorry, I think you're a great leader, but you're gonna need to lighten up on that. That's like prohibition. Telling the internet not to troll you is like telling Americans not to drink whiskey. It's just not gonna fucking happen. So yeah, that's the goal though, is to have a podcast oriented around stories of people doing dumb shit and then like advice for people to follow when joining or something like that. I think we'd get a pretty good audience. I know a lot of people, young people, would be like, oh, I really want to join the military, but they don't know anything about it. Like the politics him and I discussed, about like managing your career, all that stuff. Because like I said, like all three of us and some other folks not named, we live life to the fullest. And like we had some bad calls, we had some good calls, and some of us made it, some of us didn't. Yeah. But everyone pretty much knows that the military is a crazy place and people do crazy shit in the military. So I think it would be a fun little thing that no one has really done. And I think the only way to do it right is to be anonymous about it and just Airman Snuffy or Private Pile. I actually thought about writing a book like that, but I think this would be way more entertaining and reach more ears.
And I can't read, so at least this way I can listen.
Yep. And also, for sure, just like if you guys have any suggestions, you think my voice is too nasally, you can fuck off with that one. I've already thought of that. You don't like that we use Apple products. I don't give a fuck. Anything you guys have to say, if we don't like to hear about it, we will fuck you up in the comment sections and or on an episode. So either way, it'll be enjoyable for you.
Send the Addy. I'm always down to slide.
Yeah, if you want real physical problems, we also have my counterpart here that would thoroughly enjoy it. Shout out Mike Perry. You're still on the list. Get fucked up.
Still up to you, Mike. Send location. We out here.
Anything else, man?
No.
Want to shut this bad boy down?
Let's turn it down for the day, sir.
Let's turn it down. Left hooks are free. Right hooks are always half off. I'll try to have another nifty little intro like I did today next time. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Sounds beautiful. Enjoy.